Welcome! This is our final shooting for our Health, Happiness, and Harmony journey for 2023. Kendra, who is usually here, couldn't be here. She had an emergency, last minute Christmas emergency. I think Santa was calling her to the North Pole. So I have my fabulous elf,
Hello.
Wendell John, as many of you know, as my miracle partner at our Leesville Road office. So for any of you tuning in, you know Dr. John. I'm just so honored that you're here.
Yes,
and
it's so exciting.
And this makes it exciting
great.
because we have
He's
many
great.
things to share.
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
So,
quite the year.
yes, quite the year.
Quite the year.
So I hope that y'all grabbed your fun and warm Christmas pajamas. We're in something fun and frilly, and Wendell's in his snugglies. And grab your Christmas cocktail, as we have our favorites: Prosecco, champagne, whichever. Cranberries and mint is our favorite Christmas cocktail. So
Don't get jealous. I know you wish you were
that's
here.
right. So everybody
It's
take
okay.
a sip,
Take a sip.
sit back, tune in, and we'll begin diving into
Incredible.
some content. Yeah.
Incredible.
So content
to
wrap
talk
up.
about.
You know, before content wrap up, I just
Yeah.
want to say we've had a great year, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been wonderful.
We've had a lot of wins and great patients that have joined our practice,
Yes.
and we've had a great year of
Yes.
not just prosperity, but learning. Our knowledge base just improves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're really diving into more and more modules with A4M and our own research and bringing that to our patients.
Absolutely.
You know, and with that, I would say we're human, and it's one thing we bring to you as providers is the most authentic versions of ourselves, and sometimes we'll cry with our patients, but
Yeah.
we've both had a lot of losses this year, family member losses and things that we're human, and we go through all the same strifes that y'all do.
Absolutely.
And so, and with that, I'm just going to recap with when we started the Health, Happiness, and Harmony journey, when we first started filming this, we talked a little bit about my journey and what led us to this place of integrative and functional medicine hybrid into a traditional medicine model, and why we felt like the Western textbook was failing us. So in my journey was, you know, Wendell and I know each other from the ER. We worked in the emergency room for years together, and then opened up practices together. But in that moment, as a 40-year-old woman, well, after 40, I just had my third baby, was working in the ED, was exhausted, my cortisol curve was tanked. I was working days, nights, and just not understanding the hormonal shift that was happening in my body with perimenopause. And I still remember my husband saying, "Can you please go see your gynecologist because I think you're in perimenopause," right? So biting people's heads off, coming home, I'd run in from the ER, and my husband and I'd come in lashing out, and I'm still giving orders, and my husband says, "You know what, you need to turn around and go back out that door," right? So, and bring yourself back in. So that was where my journey began, and I opened up the practice at about age 43. And by about 2018, I would say, was when, not just for my own journey of wasn't understanding what was happening to my body, why I felt awful, I wasn't sleeping well, my cortisol levels as a CEO were horrible. I'm a mom of three precious girls, and you know, and I'm a wife. And so Wendell and I looked at each other and said, we feel like we're failing ourselves, we're failing our patients.
Yeah.
We don't know how to fix the adrenal fatigue. We don't know why a vitamin D is still 18 when we're giving them 50,000 units of prescription vitamin D, and said, we're going to start studying this.
Something more.
Yeah. And so Wendell, myself, and our provider, Taylor Heath, dove in and started going to A4M and going to modules, and that's where our journey began. And I, as many of you women out there who have seen me, was in the same boat. When I looked at my hormones, they were awful. My gynecologist told me to take a birth control pill. I was on that at 44 years old that I didn't need. And my cortisol, instead of a cortisol curve doing this, like we talk about in the practice, it was down here, which, by the way, when that happens and your adrenals are shut down, that's the brain on fire. We've talked about that a lot, and that's where metastatic cancer happens. So I was in the same boat. I called my husband from one of our conferences and said, "Ron, I think I'm going to die of metastatic brain cancer if I don't fix myself." And so that's where it began. And so from there, let's talk briefly about a recap on weight loss. It's always been a big question. People are always, it's something everybody wants to hear about on these talks. It's probably the most common chief complaint we hear about in the office. The 4 pillars of weight loss resistance, just to recap on what we've covered this year, are food is 1,
Yeah.
the gut is 2nd, movement is 3, sleep is 4.
Yeah.
Stress is involved in that too.
Yeah.
And so a lot of folks out there are trying their best to lose weight. And I mean, everybody's trying. And it may not be all 4 pillars are off, but it might be 1 or 2 are off. But food is a big problem in this country. We've identified it in the talks. We won't dive too deep now, but food is killing us, is killing our country. And so food is medicinal. When you understand how to select good food and what you're eating, like gluten, dairy, and sugar, we talk a lot about gluten causes a lot of inflammation and how to detox off of inflammation, then your body really starts changing. So food, sleep. You've got to get, the older we get, it's crucial. You have to get 8 to 9 hours of REM sleep. And it means you need to get to bed early, not 11, and wake up at 5 and go to CrossFit or just wake up to have your cup of coffee for an hour for the wake up. So sleep is important. Movement has to happen. I love walking, and I'm never going to discourage you from getting together with your girlfriends and walk because you're releasing oxytocin and you are dropping that cortisol level just a little bit from having laughter and conversation with people you love. Let's go to hormones. The gut microbiome is a big player in what happens with hormone dysfunction. And so with hormone dysfunction, and I'm going to talk mostly about estrogen and progesterone. Testosterone's equally important, but we'll leave that for another day. Fixing the gut microbiome helps release not just your hormone conversion, your thyroid conversion, but also serotonin and dopamine. And so at about age 40, your ovaries are starting to go into retirement. They're shutting down a little bit.
Sleep.
It may alternate from month to month, where 1 month it might be great and the other one it's not. But as you hit 40 is really when most women are entering perimenopause. And so with that loss of estrogen, which breaks into estradiol, estrone, and estriol, and progesterone, you are losing at least 5 neurochemicals and neurotransmitters for the brain. And so when you feel like I can't sleep, I'm lashing out, I'm irritable, I don't know why, I don't want to get intimate with my husband anymore, it is not your fault because your brain is left raw and you are shedding your neurochemical armor. And so we hear you, we're going to talk about it. And so when that happens, when you start losing estradiol is the diva. She is the one that brings it home. She is in every receptor in your body. And so with the loss of estradiol, you are losing cardiac benefits, neurotransmitter benefits, benefits for your bones, benefits for your GI system, the regulators. So with the loss of estradiol, it's probably the biggest shift we see. And if you pay attention to a cycle, on day 1 through day about 10 to 14, you will notice that you feel better, you have more motivation, you have more energy, you're more intimate maybe with a partner, you have more love for somebody. And right after that mid-cycle where you ovulate or should ovulate, all of a sudden estrogen dips down and progesterone comes in. And progesterone's lovely. I love progesterone.
Happy hormone.
Happy hormone, that's right, GABA. But with that loss of estrogen, those last 2 weeks, you can just feel awful. You get up, you don't have dopamine or serotonin. And so with that mentioned, let's talk a little bit about dopamine. Dopamine is the molecule of more. I have the nicest car that I've ever owned in my life. It was a joy to me. And for about the first 3 months when I would get into my car, I had such a high release of dopamine because dopamine, it's your motivator. It's the one that makes you want to like run to the finish line. That's right. I had so much dopamine. And then, you know, dopamine tends to sink a little bit and serotonin comes into play. And so then, you know, after about those 3 months, I would just feel happiness with serotonin. And so Dopamine and serotonin are super, super important. They have to do with, again, our drive, our will when we wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go do our HIIT workouts,
Motivation.
to get us there, our motivation. And serotonin is the happy one. So dopamine's going to get you to the finish line. Serotonin's going to pat you on the back.
Keeps you calm.
That's right. So with that loss of estrogen, you're losing two of the most important neurochemicals that we have that make us happy, that make us motivated, that give us the drive to do more, that make us functional in our workspace. Two that have to do with the brain, and this is, those of you listening, the aha moment of I'm in a brain fog. I can't concentrate. I can't hold on to work. You know, and just so you know, the data is out there for women who the most frequent age where women in corporate America leave the workforce is between ages 45 to 52. And it's not your fault. It's the fact that you're having a hard time learning new information, retaining new information, coming to the board members and transferring that information appropriately. So that's part of what's happening to the neurotransmitters with the loss of hormones or the shift of hormones. And so with that is, we're going to talk about the acetylcholine and BDNF. So acetylcholine, it's an incredibly important neurochemical that has to do with the neural pruning at nighttime to put more information into your brain and keep it there so you don't lose it. And BDNF is the protein that's most like prednisone. It's a big hit to the brain that allows that neural pruning to not just interpret, but deposit the information into your blue spot in the brain. So two incredibly important neurochemicals that have so much to do with our, not just the retention, but the learning curve and how we uphold information and how we are breaking down and putting new information into the brain at nighttime. And our fifth neurotransmitter is oxytocin. And oxytocin,
good stuff.
Good stuff. Probably the least talked about hormone and neurotransmitter that we have, right? We talked a little bit about it on our social media during Valentine's. I think wrote a little bit about avocados being great inducers for oxytocin, but oxytocin, it's our love hormone. It's the hormone that we release when we touch, when we smile, when we hug, yay! When we kiss, when we love, when we laugh. So back to the walking idea. Not only are you improving cortisol when you're taking a lovely walk with your friends or a walk in nature, but when you're laughing, even just with your girlfriends or guy friends, you're releasing oxytocin. Wendell, you had a fantastic trip with your wife and released. Yeah, tell us. What?
Absolutely, yeah. Myra and I just went away on an amazing vacation for our anniversary. 20 years, yay! It was amazing. And released tons of oxytocin walking down the beach, holding hands.
And still in love.
Looking at each other and still in love. It's so important, you know. Another way of releasing oxytocin, think about a 5K, a race.
Yeah.
Part of the appeal for those races, part of the appeal for marathons, half marathons, is not only just accomplishing that event, but it's also being in groups of people, right? Animals that are in packs like wolves and other animals that work together to achieve something, they have high levels of oxytocin. We as adults, we're animals too, to some degree, right? So we need to release that animal instinct and get that oxytocin going. The way we do that is about being around people you love, whether it's the holidays, high levels of oxytocin, whether it's not even the holidays, being at work around people that you like and enjoy, not being alone all the time, spending time with people you love and like. It's like walking with your girlfriends. So important to release that oxytocin and then sleep afterwards, right?
So I have this set of women and they're called goal friends. And so this is just an example of how important oxytocin is. So this group of 10 women are incredibly important to me. They are motivators. They motivate me. They are the women I go to when I have to talk about professional challenges or life challenges. When something happens to one of us, we're all there. We are there for each other. It's a community. And I have to see these women once a month. If I don't see these women once a month, I can feel that I need that love and I need that oxytocin. So those are things you need to seek out and it can just be a night out with your best friend or sitting on the couch with your loved one and with your kids. My kids are always running away from me because when they're around, I'm trying to get hugs. And my husband is so good about that. He'll come in from CrossFit and make sure first thing in the morning he's giving me a hug and a kiss. So oxytocin, folks, it's so important. But yes, let's dive into sleep. We touched on it and how important sleep is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Go
especially
ahead.
those guys, right? So we see a lot of guys, I'm talking to the guys out there. So we may have a lot of women on the line right now, but I'm talking to the guys that go with those women. We need testosterone. When do we need testosterone? How do we make testosterone? At night when we're sleeping. A lot of people say the next day they feel tired, they feel fatigued, they don't feel as much energy, they feel like their day is just not productive. By 12 o'clock in the afternoon, they have to have that extra coffee. Some of that's due to testosterone just not being built up at night. You have to have that sleep, you have to have that relaxation. Those pores open up at night, they detoxify all those things that you've accumulated during the day, and then your testosterone is made.
It sounds silly, but it's true. It's what happens to our brain at nighttime. And you need that neural pruning in order to detox out information from the blue spot and put in new information that you learn through the day.
Absolutely.
So that you can remember it each day. So when you don't get a great night's sleep, you are tanked the next day. You typically make really bad food choices, which comes back to weight gain. You want carbs and fat because they're sugar and your body's exhausted and you're just like, I need this, right? You don't think well and but again, it's the neurochemical shedding and the processes that aren't happening well. Progesterone is such a lovely hormone. I mean, it releases GABA, which is our neurotransmitter that has to do with love and irritability and mood and sleep. So for instance, I didn't sleep well the last couple of nights. Last night I took a progesterone. I do not like it every single night. And again, back to hormones, one size does not fit all for everyone. So how we manage it can be a little different.
Right.
But I slept like a baby last night. And so progesterone is a very, very lovely hormone, but sometimes too much progesterone can make us feel depressed and sad, which is why a lot of women come that second half of their cycle where you get the progesterone surge, right? Which is why we end up, Prozac, we used to do that with PMS kind of at the end of the cycle. It was, the old way of treatment because women would be so depressed and irritable that last week. So, so how would we reset, right? Like, how do we fix this? Well, some is, when you come in and see us, and those of you who have seen us, you know that there's just it's not as fast as, you know what, my hormones are not balanced and I need bioidentical hormones. I need exogenous hormones. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
It's fixing all these other processes in the body, including supplements, which we'll touch on, but sleep is one. How does a good day look for the perimenopause, menopausal woman? It would start with a good night's sleep.
Right.
You'd wake up. Fasting, intermittent fasting is an amazing modality that Wendell can talk about in a second because he's a big faster.
Love it.
Mindy Peltz has a great book out there called Fast Like a Girl, but fasting woman, and maybe do a HIIT cardiovascular training in the fasting state because ladies, the workout matters. If you're just walking, I get this all the time. Hey, I'm walking 3 miles every day, but I can't lose weight. You will not lose weight. You are not breaking down muscle. And the breakdown of muscle, even just 20 minutes a day, stimulates that great little molecule we talked about, the BDNF molecule, that helps us retain information. So by breaking down muscle, we are in turn not just building muscle, but we're helping the brain. And HIIT training, just 20 minutes a day, improves your serotonin, dopamine, and your estradiol. So HIIT training, then maybe having great food throughout the day. We always talk about 5 colors of the rainbow is super important. Feed the gut. And then going back to getting a good night's sleep after, maybe having a couple chuckles or laugh. We in our practice, I feel like we're really good about this. I think you guys are too at Leesville. No matter how stressful the day is, and it's always stressful, always. We're pushing 60 people through the practice in a day with 3 providers. And no matter what, we as a group take time to laugh at something funny, to chuckle, which just resets the mood of cortisol's high, bring it down, this is okay, we're a family. And it's quite wonderful. I think it's what keeps our culture consistent with less turnover, and people are happy, which we recognize, right?
Because oxytocin.
We release oxytocin all day.
All day long.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So talk about, Wendell mentioned intermittent fasting.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Love it. Yeah.
I love it. My recommendations for intermittent fasting, some people come in, they say, hey, I skip a whole day of eating. I might eat like maybe a few, peanuts during the day, and then at nighttime I eat a huge meal. Big mistake. We talked about sleep. You need to detoxify all that food that you're taking in the evening, that big bowl of pasta. It's just not going to break down while you're sleeping. The next day, you're going to feel tired and sluggish because you just have not broken down all those carbs that you consumed in the evening. My recommendation typically is to stop eating by around maybe 7,
Mine
maybe
too.
8 o'clock at the most. The next day, you start eating again, but then you do not, did I say do not? Do not. Do not get the huge venti latte with the whipped cream on top from Starbucks that morning. You're just loading yourself up with a ton of sugar by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. You're tired, you're exhausted, you're wondering why. You get the huge sugar crash.
Yeah.
So you really reset your body. You opened up your pores, you did the pruning, you detoxified yourself at night by having the low carbs. The next day, your plate is nice and fresh. Start with a nice open, empty plate. That's your body, that's your mind, that's your soul. It's ready to take in all these new things. Those new things should be good and satisfying. So 1, in the morning on the way to work, listen to maybe classical music, maybe some jazz, nothing hard, listen to something soft, listen to a podcast, taking in some new information. That's 1. Talk to your wife, your significant loved one, or your partner on the way to work, or just be quiet on the way to work in your car. You're resetting your brain, you're resetting that empty plate to take in all this new information, all these new things that you're gonna get hit with all day. Your cortisol, you're gonna get hit all day. That cortisol is gonna go up, it's gonna get firing. Cortisol, again, is the fight or flight.
That's right.
Run from the tiger. All day you're going to get hit with that. How do you keep that from being too high, that cortisol awakening response from being too high in the morning? Keeping yourself calm in the morning when you get yourself going, and avoiding those high sugar loads. People love the donut, they love the latte with the ice cream, with the whipped cream on it. Bad idea. A little bowl of fruit, maybe some granola, maybe a protein shake, pea protein shake. We'll talk about that in the mornings. Very helpful. Something that's going to help your body kind of slowly ease into that kind of constant sugar concentration throughout the day instead of having the ups and down spikes. Extremely important for cortisol, extremely important for your gut where your serotonin is made, extremely important for your dopamine. And then when you get to the evening when that serotonin is nice and relaxed, when your cortisol is flatter and more calm, it won't spike back up by having that sugar in the afternoon. And reset the next day. You do that, trust me, you'll be okay.
Yeah. And 2, when he mentioned, yes, the venti latte or the sugar, Shannon Scholl in one of our episodes, our favorite gastroenterologist, we talked a lot about fixing the gut microbiome. And so if you really think about 5 colors of the rainbow with each meal, it's very simple. So I'm just going to mention breakfast. This morning, I had a great breakfast, made it for my daughter, where we had eggs from, I love the new, it's called Happy Eggs, and they're free range chickens. They are clawing in the ground. They are eating worms and bugs. They're on a farm, and the eggs are blue and brown. So almost as if I had chickens in my backyard and I was picking up colored eggs.
Amazing.
The yolks are bright orange yellow, so you can tell they're full of nutrients. An egg itself is like a vitamin, honestly. It's like a multivitamin once a day. And an egg has choline, which in turn, guess what, guys? It inspires acetylcholine and helps in the transference to remember, right? Acetylcholine was one of the neurotransmitters we mentioned. But with that plate of eggs, so you have eggs, we put avocado on it, I sauteed tomatoes, and I put microgreens. I put microgreens on everything.
I'm coming to your house tomorrow for breakfast.
Yeah, I will
My
make you
goodness.
breakfast.
Wow.
That's right.
Forget my
and a
my
fantastic
protein
mimosa.
shake. I'm coming to
That's
breakfast.
right. Throw in a mimosa if you want to have some fun. But any which way, so it was so they're colors, right? And then coffee, which we have some coffee here that we're going to talk about. Coffee is a color, and coffee is grown from a plant. Anything grown from a plant is what we're talking about, but it needs to be medicinal, grown in soil, soil that's rich in minerals, and it's not full of pesticides and molds and mildew. So that is a great, if you think about how you're eating throughout the day, it's a great initiative to start, even over the holidays, making baby steps. If you're struggling with, I'm exhausted, I'm bloated, I can't lose weight, I can't sleep, I'm going through perimenopause, I'm in menopause, just starting to make some changes with food and following some of our steps, which is sleep, lots of sleep, waking up, adding some HIIT training into your workout each day, fasting, intermittent fasting. We've got some good tools, and then just starting to get rid of inflammatory foods, better food selection, and go back to the good night's sleep. You know, you will start to make a dent even before the new year when you make your New Year's resolutions.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so, you know, at the end of the conversation, so we talked a lot about the hormone journey, why you can't lose weight.
Yeah, weight.
Peptides
Sugar.
are where we're going to kind of finish up.
Some of my
Peptides
favorites.
and supplements. So just an aha moment, guys. By the time you're 40, and there's a lot of science to back this, you need an average of 7 supplements a day, because we don't eat enough food to give us, so magnesium, for instance, you will never eat enough strawberries or pumpkin seeds in a day to get enough magnesium. So the majority of us, wouldn't you agree, are deficient in selenium, zinc, mag, or some of the big ones. You wonder why you're getting sick all the time. And B's, right? But sickness with zinc, we are not getting enough zinc. But B, I'm with Wendell. B vitamins are the most glorious, right?
Methylated B vitamins, even
better. That's right. And just so we're clear, I always get folks come in who say, but I'm on a B complex from Sprouts or from Walgreens. Well, guess what, guys? It's not being absorbed. It's not broken down. Throw it in the trash and come see us. But when we check your B12s, Wendell and I probably both, we check a lot of B12 levels. And I can tell you that 9 times out of 10, they're low normal, if not low. And if it's low, that means that you are low in B1 through B12, which have so much to do with your metabolism. We're talking about weight, your neurocognitive decline, your energy. What else? What else would you say about B vitamins? Neuropathy.
Brain
the brain's
health,
a big
right?
one,
Yep. So if you're on an antidepressant, say your doctor has you an antidepressant, or we do, or any type of like SSRI, anything like that, you truly need B12 to help those synapses correct themselves. Definitely, if you have thyroid disorder, in order to make thyroid hormone, you need to have your B12 in your system for that to happen. For weight loss, you definitely need B12 for your inflammation of your body, but also metabolism to speed up your metabolism. Why do we give the lipo B12 shots? Speed up your metabolism, improve, reduce the inflammation, help the synapses work a little bit better. And guys, the B12 of 200, 300 that terrible. Your doctor says is okay,
it's not.
It's not okay.
I want it to be 800.
Yes.
And you would agree with that, I'm
absolutely,
sure.
positively.
So just what we find, same thing with vitamin D. I mean, all these different elements are so important. So it's a multifactorial problem that's going on with the body that we talk about in practice. And you just have to understand that it's not just about hormones. It's not just about I'm eating really okay. Why I keep gaining weight. It's not just about why you feel awful at the end of the day. That's right. It's all those things. So supplements, we talked a lot in our other episodes about them, and we've got some fun giveaways with supplements. Gut health, it's rare, not always. I have some patients who've done the work, who come in and about other things and have fixed their gut microbiome. And we're not talking about that. Maybe they don't need a probiotic, but most of our patients coming in with these chief complaints need a medical grade probiotic. And so, and when we talk about supplements, what we're bringing to you are supplements that we, and including peptides, we dove deep. We've looked at the science and the data. They all have double-blind studies to support them. And regardless of what a specialist is saying, or Western textbook medicine physicians, I get this all the time. One of my patients will go to an endocrinologist and they're like, there's no data to support that. But they feel better. They've come a long way. They feel better. There's a reason for that. And so you can't equate supplements, cheap ingredients with, okay, it might be $10 at Walgreens, but it's $20 with you. It's the same thing as you can't equate a McDonald's hamburger, which isn't even meat. It's cheap, but it's not the same as a great hamburger made from the Force of Nature meat, the ranch that has heart and liver and medicinal meats in it. So that might be 3 times that price. So just important to remember when we talk about, we've got some great giveaways with that. But peptides have gotten a lot of recognition over the last several years. They've been around for at least 40 years, with 40 years of safety data, more safety data profiles to support them than not. So unfortunately, we're battling, we'll talk real quick about the FDA. Many of our patients have asked, and they know.
What's happening?
The FDA announced in October that they are shutting down most of the injectable peptides through the compounding pharmacies. Now, that doesn't mean you can't go online, as many people can, and get them on black market. You just have no idea where they're coming from, if they're coming from somebody's garage, what's in them. So we always tell people you should never be able to get these without a prescription, right?
Yep.
But without being cynical, because this is a fun Christmas wrap-up,
Yeah.
there
No
are
Grinches.
reasons the FDA has done this, and it has nothing to do with the safety or lack of with peptides. Peptides are healing. They have healed disease states for years, autoimmune disease. A year ago, they did the same thing with thymus and beta 1 that just worked so well, and they took it off the market. So we're resetting. There are still great peptides on the market. The BPC, which is called the Wolverine peptide, that we talk a lot about,
I love it, yeah.
is, and I want Wendell to talk about his journey with BPC in a
man,
second, but
so
BPC
good.
still comes oral. TB4 Frag is one I have a lot of patients on, is still oral. We have options, and we will be going back to a peptide masterclass in the spring, again, because there are orphan peptides coming to the market. So stay tuned. We have some fun giveaways. But what peptides do, and again, I'm going to let you talk about your journey. I started peptides as well I had back pain I couldn't get rid of, radiating pain down my leg, plantar fasciitis I couldn't get rid of. I went to my best friend who's a PT. I went to my good friend who's a chiropractor. I'd come into work after seeing, getting adjusted. I'd have ice packs in my back. I'm seeing patients. I went on prednisone, all the things. Nothing was helping. And so when I started BPC and CJC Ipirellin, my pain syndromes went away. They've never come back. I felt amazing. I could build, as the woman now in her 5th decade, I was able to build muscle like I couldn't before. I could lose inches. My mental clarity, my mental state, I was sleeping better. CJC Ipirellin is an amazing peptide for that unfortunately they're exiting out. But so with peptides, when we talk about longevity medicine and health, happiness, and harmony, and anti-aging as a part of that, it's not just about aging surfacely. It's about internal aging, which hormones and food are a big part of improving the internal aging process. But peptides don't just improve your external appearance. They are they're causing angiogenesis, which is causing more blood vessel proliferation to your organs and to your tissue. As well, they cause cell proliferation. So they're also helping us get rid of these zombie cells that die and live in tissue.
Cell senescence.
Yeah, that's exactly right, which we're going to talk about in the new year. We're going to talk about the senescent cells. That's a good one. So zombie cells increase our aging process, guys, and make us feel bad and inflamed. And as we get older, at about 40, we lose the oxidative stress. So my journey with peptides was that. But Wendell, tell us about your journey, because it's really miraculous.
Wow, yeah, in short, long story, but long story short, had major surgery to my left shoulder as a triathlete. A lot of swimming for years, a lot of weightlifting, a lot of pounding and trauma, my upper body and my lower body. I ended up finding that I had a huge growth in my left shoulder. I thought it was just rotator cuff from swimming. I was training for a half Ironman that was coming up. I thought it was just inflammation. I thought a rotator cuff. Had an MRI, found that I had a huge tumor pressing inside of my left shoulder. Didn't know why. Long story short, had surgery, took it out. Told me my recovery would probably be maybe 6 months, 9 months to a year for me to regain mobility, to regain strength.
But not just that. Let me interrupt. Sorry. This was last Christmas, by the way, guys. So we went into Christmas, and he had a diagnosis of, this is cancer.
Yeah, I thought it was cancer.
Like, there was no question this wasn't cancer.
Yeah.
And
They're
in
like,
that,
like, I can't believe you're so young. How is this happening?
Right.
So,
Was it a fibrosarcoma?
Yeah,
What did they think it was?
fibrosarcoma.
Fibrosarcoma, yeah. So we got the news from Wendell right near Christmas. He and his family had to tell the boys going into Christmas, thought it was cancer.
Yeah.
He was injecting, though, at and around that time with BPC 157.
Yep.
So go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let me reset why this is so miraculous.
That was part of what I was
We went from cancer to
cancer to no cancer. Injecting BPC, exactly. Injecting BPC 157 in and around the joint. Inflammation started going down. Went back for a repeat MRI. It hadn't grown at all. It even looked like it was a little bit smaller. They did some biopsies to the area. They said, "Wait a minute, this is not what we thought it was.
They were
what's
baffled.
going on?" Wanted to do a research study to figure out how
This is
something that
Duke.
looks just like
Duke has never
what
seen
it
this.
usually was not what it was, right? Post-surgery, injecting BPC 157, mobility increased significantly in such a short period of time, back to swimming.
Yeah.
Very quickly went back to
Yeah.
follow up. How are you swimming again? We don't understand.
Yes.
Usually people aren't doing this activity. It makes no sense to us, but we know
Yes,
how
we
it
know.
works.
That's right.
Our patients know who've kind of come to us and had these similar experiences. They know that these things do work and they make a
Yes.
tremendous difference in your
Yes.
life. So
Yes.
really unfortunate some of the injectables are
Yes.
taking off. Really so sad about that. But
Yes.
we do have the oral formulation.
right.
I love using BPC 157 in combination with some low dose naltrexone at the
Oh, that's a great
compounding
idea.
pharmacy. I combine those two together. Just had a patient a few weeks ago, was due to have a knee replacement on both his knees, works at a post office, stands, sits down, very difficult pain, had him on all these anti-inflammatories, pain medicine, sent him to a pain specialist. He was like, you know, Dr. John, I don't want surgery. Is there anything I could do? I said, yes, there is.
Yes, there
Let's
is.
go.
You've come to the right place.
Yay! Yep, BPC 157, low-dose naltrexone, titrating up from 1 milligram up to 4 milligrams now. He came almost running down the hallway. Look, I feel better. I can run
awesome.
down the hallway to you. Gave me a
love
great
that.
big hug. Pain is almost gone. Amazing story. Back to riding his bike on the Greenway Trail.
Yeah.
Many more stories like that. Many
Yeah.
more stories that you can have as well.
Yeah.
Come see us.
Yeah. Yeah, great stories with peptides. So lots and lots we can do with peptides. POTS disease, autoimmune patients.
Oh,
Nobody can figure you
fibromyalgia.
out. You're labeled as fibromyalgia. So we have remedies. So in light of that, should we
I'll drink to that.
to our announcement of our favorite things?
Yes. Mm.
Okay. All right. So what we brought to you are, we each have our 5 favorite things, and this
Yeah.
is all about just our overall things. A lot is about health and wellness. So I'll talk about, you want to do yours first or mine first?
Yeah, I'll let you do yours.
Okay,
Yeah, go
okay,
for it.
great.
Yeah. Let the ladies do
So,
stuff.
yes. All right. These fun little drinks here, I would like to
Poppy.
display. This is Hi-O. You can find these at Wegmans. I'm not sure that anybody else sells them, but a friend of mine got me hooked on these. They are non-alcoholic seltzers, but they have adaptogens in them. So they give you the float of calming when you get home. It's my favorite new drink. I love the bubbly. So as you can tell, I love the bubbly. And at the end of the day with dinner, and it calms me, versus back in the day when I mentioned feeling so awful, I'd come home and I'd have to have a glass of wine to calm me down. So
Sugar.
yep, this is awesome. Hi-O's, they come in different flavors. This is blackberry lemonade. These, the Ollipops and the Poppies, too, I get these at,
Shout out to Brooke's favorite.
yeah, Brooke Burgess. I love it. Good for her for knowing
her
that.
favorite.
Look at that. I get these at Fresh Market and Whole Foods. I'm not sure they have them in the traditional
Yeah,
grocery
Publix.
store. Or
Publix.
actually Target. Yeah, okay, Publix
Publix,
has them. Great. They have prebiotics, biotics. They're plant fiber. Fiber is always good for the gut microbiome. The cool thing about these, not just for adults listening, put these in your kids' lunches. It's amazing. It helps their gut. This vintage cola
No sugar.
tastes like a Coca-Cola. It really does. And if there's everything in here is so good for the gut microbiome. We'll be cheering from the rafters. So here somebody is going to get those fun little snippets. And then this is from a lot of my patients. Do you know about Anna Kabeka, Dr. Kabeka? She's the girlfriend doctor. She's one of my girlfriend crushes when it comes to medicine. If you don't know about Anna Kabeka, please look into her. Her journey is amazing. She has amazing products for women. Her book, a lot of my patients, I talk about the hormone fix with keto greens. So she has great recipes. But this is one of her products. You can order them online. Somebody's going to get a free one today. It's called Mighty Maca. It's for energy. You would love this, actually. Energy, vitality, stamina. There's all kinds of great herbals in here, cinnamon, different properties that it can be an afternoon. I often will use it first thing in the morning instead of a protein shake. I'll put that in, or I'll put it actually in sometimes with my Perfect Protein Whey. So anyway, it's a great, you can make it into a smoothie, put food in it. It's amazing. So somebody is going to be winning that.
Yeah.
All right.
Better than a Venti latte with all
That's
the whipped cream on
right.
there.
That's right. SkinCeuticals, y'all. These are favorite skin line. Would you like to try some body serum? So, the body serum is amazing for that crinkly skin. Here, I'm going to spray it on your hands and you. Okay, hold on, it's coming. Here, and spray it on top. Now rub it in. You feel smooth. It takes away that the
Oh, it
old
smells
crinkled.
amazing.
Isn't it great?
Ooh,
So
yeah, I
skin
love it.
is clinical. There's the youth serum that I love. There's a body lotion. There's a facial. They've got great facial products. This is my favorite, Lip Plump. So these are facial aesthetics, but we're not giving that away. What I'm giving away is my favorite, in addition to Is Clinical, who I get these from, is Colette Balbero, who
Colette's amazing.
Colette is amazing. She is the horse
Yes.
whisperer of skincare.
Wow.
She used to work for me as my head of aesthetics when we had our med spa.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we closed the med spa, she rented from me for a while until COVID happened. So she now has her own space. I see her once a month. I send patients to Colette. She's amazing. She has graciously donated a free medical facial that somebody is winning. And
Can I go?
Yeah, you can go to Colette.
Oh,
I'll give you her
okay.
number, right? It's valued at $150. She can customize it to what your needs are when you get there. She sells Is Clinical, so she's a great resource to get it from. So we will, when you call with your winning, whoever wins, just say that you are the winner. We'll get you her contact, okay?
Yes.
So peptides, we talked about
Ooh, my
peptides and what they
favorites.
are. Someone lucky is going to
Yes.
win a BPC 157, the injectable, because even though they're
amazing.
shutting it down, we still have them in the office until we run out. So injectable BPC, you'll inject once a day. And then TB4 Frag, this is also one of my favorites, thymosin beta 4, which if you need more
Gut health,
information on the winner,
inflammation.
let us know. But somebody's winning these. This is probably a $450 package right here. And for gut health, which we talked about,
Yes.
Mitral Recharge is one I have almost all my patients on. It's a must-have in your medicine closet.
Yeah. Resveratrol.
Mitral Recharge, we didn't really talk about mitochondria today. We're going to talk about that in the new year.
Yeah.
But mitochondria are so important. We've talked
Yeah.
about them throughout the year, and they are your powerhouse. They are your it's where your sex hormones are converted through, your insulin, your energy, all the things. This has just so many great things. I won't even, just glutathione extract and quercetin and vitamin Bs, all the good things.
Resveratrol, green tea
Yeah,
extract.
you will feel good on Mitral Recharge.
Yeah.
This is our Ultraflora Spectrum, our probiotic. And back to peptides. I put a lot of my patients who do have GI dysfunction on the oral BPC 157. So we've got a lucky winner. The three of these combined are great for
So
overall
excited.
gut health restoration and just purity good.
Yes.
All right, I think I've covered mine.
Awesome.
Went
All
down.
right, well,
You're-
let's
wait,
see.
Purity
Oh.
Coffee. I forgot Purity Coffee. Okay.
We get that.
Purity Coffee, you guys. This you can order online. I found this when we went to one of our first modules with A4M. I get the beans because I love them, and we have a Jura coffee maker, but it comes ground, it comes in pods if you have a Keurig. Just understand that when we talk about coffee, coffee is not a bad thing as long as it's good, pure coffee that is grown without pesticides and is also packaged nitrogen infused well in BPA-free packaging. If you are drinking coffee every morning that's from Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or Folgers or a non-organic brand, you are ingesting a lot of really harmful things. So,
They don't feel good. They don't feel good.
But this is grown in Central America, and the owners who developed this really dug deep into growing coffee beans, no pesticides. The other problem with a lot of coffee is coffee has a lot of molds that come into it in the processing, and then you're ingesting them when you drink them. So it's mold-free, mildew-free, and coffee as a whole, when you drink good coffee, it has a lot of antioxidants called CHGs. So so you can drink as many cups of this as you want a day. It's amazing. So Purity Coffee, you can Google them, read about them. It's one of my favorites. Somebody is getting this, and I want to say this bag might be worth close to $100.
Really nice.
Yes.
Oh,
All right.
gosh,
You're
wow.
on.
All right, excellent. Well, I'm going to definitely start with the Clear Change Daily Essentials. Oh my goodness. Now, I know we're coming into the holiday season. We're going to have apple pie, pumpkin pie, pecan pie, lemon meringue. How many more? Lots of different pies.
Chocolate
Lots of sugar,
pie.
chocolate pies,
Yeah.
strawberry shortcake, lots of different foods. Well, this is going to be awesome to start next year in January. Detoxify your system, reduce the inflammation, get that gut reset. You start the new intermittent fasting starting in January, 7 p.m., 7 a.m. the next day. Started with something fresh like Purity coffee in the morning. Started with something fresh like Pure Protein in the morning. Incorporated with your detox. Definitely a winner. Somebody's gonna
love Clear
love this. I'm gonna love this.
Y'all,
All right.
I use the
really
detox
good.
4 times a year to
Yeah,
get.
get started every quarter.
Yeah, every quarter. It's a good
Every
one.
quarter.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
I have for my ladies. Oh, the winner's gonna love this. Oh, this is amazing. Women's Essential, your everything, all you can use package with your antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, immune system builder, cardiovascular health improvement. It has everything you need in one package. They come in as nifty little packages. Is this one open? Can you show it?
Yep.
Everything you need right here in one. Has your phytomulti, has your anti-inflammatory, has your omega-3s, everything you need for women's health and little hormone support as well.
Yep.
Let's do that.
Love
So
it.
I'm really excited about who's going to win that. We have the names too, right?
Yeah, we do.
We're gonna hook that up.
Yeah, we've got some winners.
Guys, I didn't forget about you. I know you're like,
This is really
let's
big.
talk about the
More
ladies.
but
This
we
is about-
remember the
This
guys.
is for you as well.
Or
Women's
ladies, remember your
Essentials,
husbands. Yes.
Remember your husbands.
This will
Remember your
make them
partners.
happy.
Remember your dad,
Yes.
your brother, your cousins. They would love this as well. Same thing as Women Essentials, but specifically tailored towards men. Again, cardiovascular health, immunity, anti-inflammatory. Your go-to all in one package. You don't have to have 7 different things to remember. One packet, put it in your pocket, put it in your bag, pop it in the morning with your pea protein shake. You're good to go. What else do we have here? Some good stuff. Ooh, yes. Vitamin D and SPM. Oh
Yes,
my goodness. I
love them.
love
I love
vitamin
SPM.
D.
I take SPM every day.
It's just so awesome.
Yeah.
Strong anti-inflammatory, made from strong
Autoimmune
fish oils,
disease,
autoimmune
fantastic.
inflammation, Hashimoto's disease, thyroid support, reduce thyroid antibodies for those Hashimoto's flares, reduce those flares, keeps you even, joint pain, joint inflammation, and accompany this with your BPC 157.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe your low dose naltrexone, inflammation goes down on those joints.
right.
You're out doing the HIIT training, you're getting that HIIT flavor in the morning, just loving it. Vitamin D, we're so deficient.
Everybody's deficient vitamin D.
We're just so
Everybody.
deficient. I mean, we're not laying out in the sun baking, but also we're not consuming it in our diets. You need this vitamin D
Yeah.
for everything, anti-inflammatory for your body, cancer reduction, improve your bone health, osteoporosis in women and men. Great go-to. So whoever's winning
Yeah.
this package, they're gonna get
Yeah.
all around.
And guys, what I would say about SPMs, just a real quick snippet, is what they are. I mean, some of the top oncology centers in the country are using Metagenics SPMs in their
Yep.
protocols. We lose specialized pro molecules as we age. It's just part of the process. We have tons of them up until about 25. And those are our centers for antioxidant, which is why, you know, specialized pro molecules, they, like you said, they really target inflammation well. And so our folks with autoimmune disease especially, and or cancer, post-chemo, whatnot, they have all these inflammatory cells and cytokines going crazy. So SPMs are a great remedy. There's a little bit of their fish oil in that as well. Fish oil, when you're on a good fish oil, is medicinal and anti-inflammatory. So yeah.
Yeah, everything to
Yeah.
reduce the fire. You know, our bodies are on fire, our brains are on fire, our
Everything's
souls
on
are on
fire.
fire. Let's reduce that fire. Let's get it calmed down to a nice calm simmer because we need a little bit of fire to keep going. Do
Yep.
that and you feel so much better. Your life is better. Everyone's around you's life is better. It's an overall package, right? So last but not least,
There you go.
I keep mentioning this pea protein, right? So between this and pumpkin protein, my go-to favorites.
You love pumpkin.
Vegan, pumpkin protein, pea protein, so amazing, right? You get that flavor in the morning. You get low sugar, low carbs. You get the hit of exactly what you need to carry throughout the day. Twice a day sometimes I have my shake. Really keeps me going without having to consume that burger or that, you know, chicken noodle soup or whatever it is with the high sugar, high salt. Get your protein, has all your antioxidants you need for the entire day.
Love
Congratulations, winner.
it. I use that too. I love Perfect Protein Whey. The chocolate with Metagenics is just so good. I love the chocolate. Yeah. All right, so we're announcing our winner. Is this like Oprah? Does anybody remember Oprah's favorite things at Christmas?
Winner.
Here's a cruise. Here's
Here's
a
a
luxury car. Ours aren't as fast, but they're great. So, okay. All right, we have Eve Pender.
Eve Pender, congratulations.
Eve won the Hi-O and the Ollipops, Lollipops, and the
She's gonna
matcha.
love that. Oh, she's gonna love it.
Blair Griffin, you
Blair.
won a facial with Colette Balbero,
Oh.
so you will be so excited for that.
Wonderful.
Shannon Novak, she
Shannon
won
Novak.
the vitamin D3K and the SPMs.
great.
So awesome, Shannon.
Oh, yes.
Ashley Fieldhammer. Oh, we forgot
Oh,
to
the
mention
IV
our
therapy.
IVs. Yeah.
Oh, it's so amazing.
So
Yes.
we're giving away one of our IV therapies.
Yeah.
It's whichever IV of your choice. If
Yeah.
you want to add glutathione on, you can. This is one of the other amazing things we do in our offices that helps with longevity,
Yes.
for all things, immune for sick people,
Skin.
recovery, weight loss, all of it. So
Right.
Ashley Fieldhammer, you can enjoy an IV.
Yeah, especially after the holidays. After having a
Yes,
little
detox,
bit of wine.
detox after the
Detoxification.
holidays. Yes.
Yeah.
And Ashley, you can come to either office is fine, whichever one's closest to your house. We do IVs in both. Stephanie Frick,
Stephanie
you
Frick.
won the Clear
Clear
Change
Change.
Detox.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we should get the box.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
the
the
Clear
whole thing.
Change box has the shake, and it has the Advoclear capsules, which are amazing, and the program to follow Clear Change. So we'll get you that.
Yeah, vanilla chai. I think vanilla chai and I think
It's a
pineapple
berry.
mango
A
berry.
Mhm. Yep. Amy Ahart, you won the
Ahart.
perfect
Per-
protein,
protein,
bag.
yes.
You're gonna love it. I do mine
Oh,
with
yeah.
water and ice.
Yeah.
And in a NutriBowl, it tastes like a chocolate milkshake. It's so
Yep,
good.
yep. Oat milk. Love it with oat milk.
Yeah. Megan Pont, you won the
Megan Pont.
Purity Coffee. So you're gonna love some Purity Coffee. Angie and Megan, if you do not have a grinder, because those are the beans, just let us know if you need the ground coffee or if you want pods. Angie Bajorkland, her daughter works for us and I still can't pronounce the last name. It's Kelsey.
Bajorkland.
Yeah.
Bajorkland, yeah.
She won the Mitra Recharge,
Oh.
the Ultraflora Spectrum, and BPC
That's an amazing
Pecans.
package. Oh gosh.
Woohoo! All right, we have two
Love it.
left. Monica Ritchie, you won the Women's Essentials
Essentials.
and the Men's Vitality.
Oh, both. Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Excellent.
you won both. And then Amy Reed Newman, you won the peptide injectable BPC and the TB4 frag.
Oh.
And our staff can, when you pick them up, if you have not used peptides, they can show you how to use it. And honestly, if you have an averse to, you really don't want to use the injectable, although there's a lot of great reasons to use the injectable, there is oral BPC if you'd rather convert it to
Formulations.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Excellent.
thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We
Thank
hope
you.
that this brings you some good end of the year holiday cheer
Yes.
and information to inspire you to live your best
Yes,
life.
exactly.
We're going to continue to bring great content to this on how to live your best health, happiness, and harmony life and journey. And with longevity medicine, you have this one life to live. That's what we talk about. So make it great
Yes.
and be the best version of you.
Absolutely.
And we want to hear from you. Let us know. If you have questions you want us to answer, let us know. We'll talk about it. All right.
Come see us.
Thank you, guys. Love you.
Thank you.
Oxytocin. You know what? I need a little oxytocin.
Yeah.
Give me a hug. Okay. Yes. All right. And here's a shout out.
Shout out to Daniel Yates from Cine Gate. All right, cut. Let's start again.
Yes. Start
still
again
rolling,
so we
right?
can say this right.
Shout out to Daniel Yates from Cinegate Productions for this wonderful production he's put together for us at the last minute. We love it. Thank you so much. Best videographer, best media company in the whole triangle. You need to look him up.
Yes.
Thank
He's
you, Daniel. It's
fantastic.
fantastic.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Happy
Awesome.
holidays.
Great job.